What's going on, guys? Hey, listen, boys and girls. Today we're going to talk about a fragrance from the house of Mind Games. And I want to see some more bangers, man. Hopefully we got one on our hands. But strap up. Let's go for that ride. All right. Welcome to the scent bubble. I'm your host for the evening. Today from the house of Mind Games, we have Gardez. What do we have on this? It reveals the willing sacrifices we make to secure our love, our freedoms, our future. Gardez dexterously blends the well, I don't want to reveal the notes. Revealing tenderness and strength at its core. Okay. I don't want to read it because I don't usually like talking notes before we see what the vibe check is. You know, for those of you who want to know, like, SB, why don't you want to give us notes right off the bat? Well, because I don't want notes to dictate how I feel about a fragrance. A lot of times the notes be marketing. You know, we don't know how much of everything is in there, so let's not try to assume or go into the situation expecting something. We use the notes to clarify, not to project. And this is really interesting. Really interesting. I get kind of like I don't know how I feel about the practicality of this scent right off the bat. Like, it's unfamiliar, but it's very creative off rip. I'm getting iris on a backbone of very clean brown leather. Maybe even orris. It's not the sweetest fragrance. It's got a tiny bit of that sweetness, but it's more leathery than sweet. But then I get this butter accord. It's like it's not even super vanillic. It's just a butter accord, I feel like. I get clean, very clean cut, fresh, middleweight, brown leather. Iris or orris, I'm not sure which. I think it's orris. I get butter, which I don't even know any other way to describe it. It's a savory, buttery accord. That's about it. I don't know what else I'm smelling. It smells like it's got, just imagine like you're in a suit with a briefcase or like a Italian leather satchel, and you went to the movies and had popcorn in your hand, and then you walked out and you have that kind of butteriness on you. It dries down very unique, though. The dry down is butter and leather. And that iris or orris is just like so much more tucked. On the test strip, it's more fruitier. It's weird. It's almost like a blackberry. It might just be iris, but I get like a fruity accord, and it's coming off very like blackberry-ish. Blackberry, iris. We got to switch screens. I'm highly interested in figuring out what the heck this is. 3.76 out of 5, so terrible score. Launched in 2022. Very creative, though, to me. I like the smell. I don't know how I would wear it. What the heck? Blackberry leaf, apricot. Do you say apricot or apricot, guys? Put it in the comments below. Phonetically spell it out for me. Orris root. Okay. Orris root is essentially the root of the iris plant. It's a cleaner finish. It's less sweet. Cassis, palisander rosewood, jasmine sambac, black leather, popcorn, and cedar. So the image picture that I could give you to put you in the realm of what this smells like. You go into a fresh, immaculately clean, swept, and polished movie theater, and you see the black curtains over the screen. You don't see the screen yet. You're sitting there with a fresh, buttery bucket of popcorn, and you are squeezing blackberries and apricots in each hand. And that gets you around 80 to 90% of this smell. That irisy orris, though, is providing this really cool, like, suede texture on the leather. It's super buttery. To give you the dispersion of, like, the pie breakdown of this, yeah, the dry down is almost purely butter and leather, but the leather is very dry. I don't like the dry down as much, I'll be real with you. The test strip, it smells a lot more sweet and fruity, and there's a couple other, like, smells. Yeah, the dry down feels like something that would naturally come upon you. Like, this isn't a fragrance. This is like you out at a festival, maybe a carnival, and you smell like butter and like very faint cigarette smoke. Okay, so people didn't like the dry down because I was going to say the opening is really interesting. Really, 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 really interesting. But the dry down is much less interesting and kind of just falls into that black leather. That's what it is, the black leather popcorn. That's all it dries down to, and it's quite faint too. You'd have to cake the sprays on. I forgot to read that. Black leather, popcorn, and cedar. First time I've seen a popcorn accord. Yeah, interesting. Very creative piece. This fragrance is mostly top notes that transition very quickly. Man, the popcorn black leather, it dries down almost exclusively to that. I still have the sheen, if you could see on the corner of the screen there on my hand. It dries down to popcorn and leather, and it smells, I mean, kudos for it smelling exactly like that. But at times this gives off like a gasoline accord, like the fire after it's been put out, slash what? Yeah, sometimes it smells like firewood in a very leathery way. Sometimes it smells like popcorn, and then sometimes it smells like black leather. It's kind of throwing you all over the place. Yeah, I mean, kudos for creativity here, but the fragrance was not well balanced. I mean, it's balanced in the opening as a complete smell, but to transition to black leather and popcorn, how would this be appropriate? Like, I feel like if I went to a carnival, I could get to this smell without even wearing a fragrance just by going into a carnival for a few hours, ordering some popcorn, and then leaving. It's not a bad smell. It's just not a practical smell. I want to see what they say the longevity is. Super moderate. Yeah, super moderate. Honestly, I don't think this has beyond 1 foot of sillage, to be quite frank with you guys. Just trying to see what else it says it smells like. Nothing, I mean, some stuff I'm familiar with, but nothing that you guys would be familiar with. Interesting. Yeah, okay, let's wrap up. This is easily shooting for spring, summer nights, but fall and winter day. But I imagine the elements would completely destroy a fragrance like this unless you went north of 10 sprays. It's smooth on the nose. I mean, in terms of creativity points, no one would smell like you. And it's not even a bad smell. Like I said, it just doesn't feel very practical. I wish that blackberry stayed. I wish that orris was stronger. I wish the apricot. I almost don't even get any apricot. It's a really cool idea gone bad. As a fragrance, I give it a 6. I really do. And I'm being gracious. It feels very incomplete on the dry down. Amazing opening, just in terms of creativity. But that dry down becomes 1/4 of the creativity that's in that opening, and it transitions fast. Yeah, it's a 6. I mean, it's a great effort. I said this to my boy Kix, and I'll say it to you guys. A lot of times Mind Games feels like rookie year LeBron James. Like, you look at LeBron, he goes from high school to the league, and he kills it. He does great, but he's not in his prime yet. He's just buttloads of potential. He's killing it. He's on his way to being insane. You give him a couple more years in the league, he's going to be elite. But for right now, he's just a lot of talent doing some damage. Mind Games feels like that. Like, it's got the amazing aesthetic of the brand. It has quality ingredients. Their fragrances punch very complex and sophisticated, yet push towards mass appeal ideas with almost an homage creativity and a mass appeal lens. And yet, when it comes to the actual juices and how they transition and what you get in the opening versus what you're left with, it feels very much rookie year for them. Like, they need time to get better in their formulations, more robust in their longevity. And again, I'm not asking for 6 to 8 hours of longevity. Even if it's 4 hours or 3 hours, give me something all the way into that point. Don't give me a wow factor opening and then a super mediocre dry down, because then I feel like you're just trying to sell me an illusion. Yeah, this fragrance fell utterly apart. 6 out of 10. I don't really want to go into alternatives to this because it's so creative that there's no alternatives that immediately stand out to me. I wouldn't buy this fragrance. I think you guys should, if you get a tester like I did, definitely get your nose on it because it's a really cool idea. It's also very close to, I believe, Patchouli Ink. Matter of fact, hold on. Ride with me for a second. Mont Blanc's signature line. Kind of like a savant with this stuff, guys. You got to just trust me. Nope. What's the other ones from this line? Extreme Leather. That's what it is. So this smells exactly like Mont Blanc Extreme Leather. And I'll show you why. Leather Orris Musk. But and it's very close by about 70-80%, but the butter, the popcorn accord in the base, it's like this fragrance with buttered popcorn added to it. And it smells pretty good, honestly, but this one lacks as well. So I hesitate to ask to show this to you guys as an alternative, because a lot of people from smelling regular Mont Blanc fragrances would say that this is an upgrade, but it's actually not an upgrade in the grand scheme of things, because even though it smells more high quality than a typical Mont Blanc fragrance, as you can see with the 4.3 out of 5 here, the fragrance's dry down and longevity is utter trash. And people are trying to say it's moderate here. It's absolutely not. I have this fragrance in a Traveler. So this is another fragrance where the opening, the bottle, everything looks incredible, but then the dry down is a fourth of what the fragrance opening is. And so it just feels very, very much, they're trying to sell you on the first hour of the fragrance. It disjoints and falls apart very quickly as well. So I can't even recommend you an alternative, but if you guys have ever smelled this, this is what Gardez smells like with the added accord of popcorn. So yeah. You guys see what I'm saying here? The Orris, the popcorn, the leather type thing. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe. More importantly, turn on that notification bell. Talk to me. I do talk back. Join my new Discord server. It's free if you're into fragrance content. I drop episodes every single day. Definitely check out the playlist section where we've got the channel very well organized for your binge watching pleasure. What other fragrances from Mind Games did you guys buy? I'm really on the hunt for something worth buying from Mind Games, and they have a lot of amazing ideas and creativity, but what would I buy a full bottle of? That's what we're trying to figure out. And I think we've reviewed like 6 or 7 fragrances so far from this house, but we're going to continue to explore the house because they do get my respect in creativity, in branding, and in just pushing the envelope of perfumery. Just because you don't get it right doesn't mean you can't add something to the game. You know, they have a Xerjoff level of care for the game. I feel like they're selling themselves short, but you know, every time they come out with a fragrance, it's something you haven't smelled before, or it's something you have smelled, but they're trying to do their own thing with it. And they're using high-end materials. Their fixatives and stuff is what gets them in trouble, and their ability to not. The magic of perfumery is being able to carry the opening into the dry down so seamlessly that it seems like you still get the same fragrance by the time it dries down, or what it's changed to is still full bodied. And that's where you see amateurs from pros. This is amateur perfumery in that it opens at a Xerjoff level and then transitions into essentially Mont Blanc signature level perfumery. So they've got work to do, but I do respect what they're going for and what they stand for and all that stuff. So anyways, this was Mind Games' Gardez. Very creative, but 6 out of 10. Sample it just for fun, but I don't think you guys should buy this fragrance at all until they get it together. Yeah, it dries so simply. Anyways, stay blessed, guys. Until next time, peace.